So we back. This is what? This part 3 of class. Rizzy over there humoring himself. So let me get these ants in here now.
Oh shit.
Get these ants in here for y'all.
Oh my god.
While he over there tickling himself.
Oh shit. I gotta stop smoking.
Hey y'all, I'm putting their ants in.
Tell them to send that cash app bread. Ain't nobody gonna cash.
That's when he was talking about stashing in the I can't even remember. In the what is it, blow up dial?
Stashing coke in the sex dial.
Stashing coke in the sex dial. In the sex dial. Y'all don't know this boy.
But no, look, peep game. They about to come out with the robots.
They got them. No, they got, and you can order
what?
these.
I'm riding around
things,
dirty. I'm gonna buy me a Tesla, drive by itself. I'm gonna have a robot sitting in the seat. The cop's gonna be like, "Hey, get out the car." I'm like, "No, I ain't got nothing." Talk to the driver. Talk to the fucking robot.
Lovey, get your damn cash app off of there. Don't y'all cash me the moolah. That's Lovey's. Don't y'all do that.
Put my cash app.
I'm doing them now.
RIZZY83. I know some shit. I read books so y'all don't have to. And don't be going on Wikipedia neither. Ain't shit on there.
Oh yeah, because people add that themselves.
People love Wikipedia.
No, it got some information on there. It's just that people add that stuff themselves.
Give me Google any day and the library. I destroy.
Love, ain't nobody take no damn money out your pocket, girl. Shut up.
We gonna put some money in your pocket, baby. You just gotta promote somewhere else.
Hey y'all, I'm just putting everybody ad up here so we can get back to this conversation.
And if you want to learn how to get free iPhones,
I'm not doing this, man.
cash at me. I got the game. I'm not only book smart, I'm economically smart too. I gotta get some money without having a motherfucking job. You don't need no job. You just need quick, critical thinking and risk taking.
Lovey, why can't I cancel your request to go live? Decline me so that it clear off my phone, please. Thank you. Because it was still popping up at the bottom.
Let's get money.
Okay. Where EI go? Where her ass go?
Oh yeah, back to the what was he talking about? Stars.
Hey Tutu.
And the reason why I was talking about the stars, because I was talking about the 4 major, it's like she was saying we in the 4th dimension, or it's only 4 dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of dimensions, because you got the 5th dimension, you got the 6th dimension, you got the 7th dimension, you got 360 different dimensions.
Right.
Like, so when you, and this makes your house or your chessboard. If you play chess, you would know this, because on the chessboard is 64 spaces with over 360 moves. If you pick up a golf ball, it's 360 dents in a golf ball. How many people knew that?
I damn sure didn't.
Yeah,
but
not a lot of people knew that.
But the irony of that is, I just had.
And what's 360?
But wait, but pause.
Isn't that a full circle?
But wait. I just did a reading yesterday for somebody. And in her reading, it came up that golf balls, something to do with golf balls and golf would be a blessing for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I had known that yesterday, because I would have damn sure dropped that in her lap. But
and why do you think, business-wise, they tell us as black men, one of the sports you better learn is golf, because that's where all your major big deals are taking place, and your major conversations is taking on the golf course. All your major big deals is done on the golf course. Puff, Jay-Z, all of them do the deals. It's a ritual. All of them do their shit on the golf course.
Hey, y'all, I don't know where Earkai went. Y'all don't come off. Let me text Earkai real quick till I bring her ass back on here. I'm not ending the live. I'm just going to text her real quick. No. They're very observant. A Libra and a Gemini is no. Gemini females and Libra females are sneaky. These are the ones they like. Oh, watch it. They be like, look what they be like. I got the next social security number. Watch what I do.
Oh yeah, don't get.
Okay. Now who was you just talking about?
Libra.
No, you said Aries.
I said Aries. My baby.
Aries female is they not sneaky. They
Aries,
smart. The Aries female will tell you straight what they gonna do. Oh, you thought this shit was a game. Remember you did X, Y, Z? They'll do this shit right in your face. Sneaky is when it's done behind your back and you don't know what, and you want to know why your credit got fucked up and somebody got 95 credit cards in your name.
Aries are direct, but they are also what they call that? They are introverts.
Aries?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And I mean that's not
Aries are not bullies. People think
Aries aren't bullies. Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, they are the bullies.
No, I love Taurus.
In the middle of the zodiac.
No, I love Taurus, man.
I'm a Gemini.
Keep it moving. What about Aries?
God blessed us. The book smart. Mind you, Geminis are teachers. They're learners. They're educators. That's why I know so much shit. I'm just prone to books. I'm like predisposed to the books. Like I love books. I love reading.
Mick 11, where was you at? Mick 11, which I like saying funny. All right, is y'all ready for Kyle to come back on here? How long we been on here? 7 minutes now?
I think so. Well, yeah, I was trying to talk to them about race and what a race is. A race is not real. It's a competition.
Yeah, you said that.
So black people are not part of a race. We already won.
We already won.
we are the beginning. And
I was gonna say we the ones that shot the gun to start the race.
Shot the gun. So think about this, right? Race comes from some genetic. Think about this. There's two ways to tell human through the hair. Because what does kinky mean? It means to hug, to love. You see what I'm saying? Kinky hair starts off straight, and then it becomes curly and kinky and knotty. Degenerate hair, or hair from non-humans, or from a troglodyte bloodline, starts off kinky. Then it becomes straight, like your Italians, your Spanish, your Asians, your all of those. That's how you tell who's human and who come from or have more of a human DNA in them instead of RH factor. Now, the reason why I said that is because why I don't deal with the race is because I stick to DNA. Our DNA comes from a human line. Their DNA comes from an animal bloodline. The reason why I said this, because if you look up the word antigen, look this up right now, people. ANTIGEN. If you look up what that word means, it says this is foreign to the human body. Antigens are foreign to the human body. Antigens come from animal blood type. What is an animal blood type? A, B, and AB. Those are animal blood types. So when you look at that, the Yakub myth can't be a myth. It has to be real because the universal donor of the planet, and they still have her blood today, is O. So that means she will make O. My blood is O. So that means O will keep making O. The reason why I said this, think about it. O blood can only receive O blood. But O blood can give to all the others. But if you put A negative and positive, B negative and positive, or AB negative and positive to O blood person, they will die because the antigen is foreign to the human body. Somewhere in the splicing is where, people like, black people have RH blood type. And white people will have O. You got some white people that have O blood. How? You see what I'm saying? When the scientific name for a Caucasian person and every other race is troglodyte nigger. Your DNA will never trace back to a troglodyte nigger. A troglodyte nigger is a monkey.
So how do you explain white people having O positive blood type?
Gene splicing. In a cave called the Caucasus Mountain, done by the Pharaoh Akhenaten. That's why I don't fuck with this. If you go to California right now in Beverly Hills, they got a picture of the Pharaoh Akhenaten snitching rat punk ass, giving all of our history and everything we got to the British philosophers. That's why everything that's hurting us was made by a white psychologist. And they are using Aleister Crowley, the nigga that's on the joint like this, Aleister Crowley and Madame Blavatsky. They're using their literature, which is Luciferian 666 doctrine. That's not Mark of the Beast. 666 is us. That's carbon. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons makes everything in the universe.
9 ether.
Okay, boom. I'm making sure the phone now. So I'm doing this like a real debate. Ia, you got 4 minutes. Go.
Well, okay, let's do this. All right. You know, I'm Aries and I love a challenge.
Fire.
You can't talk on her 4 minutes.
Go ahead.
All right. So now racist only denotes, right, a people, right? Or what we call, if you look at the definition of race, it just means that people who have the same origin of descent, something in commonality. That's all the race really is. We have taken the race and say, yes, it is competition, but that's exactly what our ancestors said. When we were wanting to leave the garden, okay, well, now we have to look at each other in races to see ourselves in each other, because we're really all the same. So now we are racing, what? To get back to where? The center. All of us, everybody still, no matter what color they are, they want what? To live. Nobody wants to die. You see? And everybody wants happiness. Everybody still wants the same thing. Now, in reference to what he was saying about the Akhenaten, well, Akhenaten was an Anunnaki. And you see, we are the Anunnakis. We did create them, but however, the Etherians that we're talking about, right? We were termed as those who actually did all of this seeding of the planet, yes. But we were the first seeded. But then, of course, in order for the other races, yes, to be in this equation, we still did it. However means, simply, we can actually, what we call, incarnate our body into another. And that's how we see the planet. It's the same way, let's say, let's use me for an example, right? Or use you, right? Well, you might look in the mirror and they say, this is Mbele. It's not. It's Aya. So now Aya is incarnated in you, but you have children. Now she's in your children. And whoever the brother was, right? Well, let's say he was Ogun. See? And now that's seeding the planet. That's seeding the planet. So when you talk about the Etherians, that's what they did. They seeded the planet with all the races. Now, when you start talking about the ape or whatever, they still have the ability to seed them by using that which is now. See, because they use genetics. But they still seeded the planet. Whatever means it was, they seeded each race. How do we know? Because we've got 4 root races. And the whole thing is, yes, still, it's called a descendant. Races mean a descendant of a common origin. And when you heard the word descent, you heard that means that they came down. Descent, not ascent, descent. And when you say, oh, that's my descendant, that's my family. So we're all descendants, meaning that somebody came down here and did something.
Okay, well, since you...
Is she finished?
She's not finished. She actually has a minute to go, but she paused right there. So I'm coming to you. Because if she picked back up, she won't go over the 4. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to stop her right there when she paused it.
Yes, I yield time.
Okay, let me go to the... I'm gonna go to the
definition. You too, McElevin.
I'm gonna go to the definition of race. A competition between runners, horses, vehicles, boats, etc., to see which is the fastest in covering a set course. Second definition is of the nouns. A strong or rapid current flowing through a narrow channel in the sea or river. Mind you, what law are we governed by? Maritime law, right? That's law of the water, right? That's why you got a birth certificate, right? Because it explains what comes on a ship. Your mother is what? A ship. So what does the doctor on the ship has to give to the person? I mean, what does the captain on the ship has to give to the person at the dock? A birth certificate. That explains how much goods is on the ship.
That's right.
You have to do that at the hospital.
Of course.
And you have to, once your mom, you come through your mother's waters.
That's the birth.
You give what to the doctor?
The birth.
You get a birth certificate, right?
Right. You come through the birth canal, which is just like a ship. You come through the birth canal and you break the waters, and now you're on land. Okay. It's the same thing as when you go into.
They're governing us by water. We're not going by law of the land. We're going by law of the water.
Yes, but
law of the water is death. Look. Let me show you what I mean. Compete. Now here's the verb. Compete with another or others to see who is fastest at covering a set course or achieving an objective. What is the objective of white people?
You kind of got a point there.
Move or progress swiftly or at full speed. Now let's look at definition as from how let's look at the definition of race of how she see it and how the Census Bureau sees it. It's the same way y'all see it. Race refers to a person's, this is what is the definition of a person's race. Race, now we're in a different definition.
Right.
Race refers to a person's physical characteristics such as bone structure. Remember I said bones?
You said bones.
Skin. Remember I said skin? Hair. Remember I said hair? Or eye color. Ethnicity, however, refers to cultural factors, including nationality. Now, instead of race, I would use ethnicity
as opposed to the word race. I see what you're saying.
Race.
Okay. However,
who's going to be number one? How many minutes I got left?
1.
All right, hold on. My last minute. And
don't let me have to go to the dictionary.
However, refers to cultural factors including nationality, regional culture, ancestry, and language. You can have more than one ethnicity, but you are said to have one race, even if it's mixed race. So if you're in a mixed race, even if you white, even if you Puerto Rican, Spanish, or all that, when you pull up your DNA strand, where you going? You're going to land in Africa. Now, the reason why I said this, because you have to look at where or what human means. To be human, you have to be African. Now, the reason why I said that, because you have to look up something called Glosier's Law. Glosier's Law. This says that in order for human life to begin, it has to be in very hot or warm climate. Where scientifically on Earth is all the oldest bones, all the oldest humans, and everything is found. It's in Africa. There's not a bone found nowhere.
Because we have the hue and the man. That's your time. All right. Here go a question. Because we're going to move on past that topic. Because guess what I think? Because I've been hearing Charlie Brown teacher all the last week, but this is a new week, so I'm hearing things differently. And I personally think that y'all are saying the exact same thing, just different. I think y'all saying the exact same thing. I think that we have to remember that sometimes it's not the message is what it is, but the delivery is how you reach certain people. So I think that y'all both have done an awesome job reaching whoever on each side of it. Or somebody gonna comprehend the way you say, somebody comprehend what you say. But me in the middle, I hear y'all both say the same thing.
Remember the 4 races she was talking about though? That we are? the ones that came before that, what she say, hype or something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Those are females.
All of them.
All of them are females. Yeah. Now, if you look into the Quran, chapter 53, back in the star again. Mm-hmm. Chapter 53, verse 19, says that have you not sought Al-Uzza, Al-At, and Al-Manat, the other. Al-At is the deity. Mm-hmm. That's the remember I was telling you, Mami, Wata, all that. Al-At is the deity.
So it's all feminine.
It's feminine. When you in Arabic, when you put an A next to a T, that's feminine. Muhammad's parents was named Abdullah, not Abdullah. When you put an A next to an H in Arabic, it makes it masculine. No doctrine far as the deities are masculine. They were all female.
Fucking men. Okay, that's time on that. Now we got a question. If O positive is the dominant blood type, how did the other blood types come about?
She got to answer that first, right? You asking her that, right?
I don't even know if either one of y'all got the answer to that.
I'm going to take that answer.
Hold on.
I'm going to take that.
Do you know the answer to that question, EO? Do you have an opinion about that? I don't. But I know because the human is human. I know about the hue and all that good stuff. But can you answer that question? Where the other types come from, blood O?
It's a question that it would take a long time to answer it, because right now everybody is out on debate on how those different blood types came in. Because when you talk about Adam as being the first man, he wasn't the first man. And then they have it if Adam even existed, in time. So we're talking in times of extraterrestrial, what they're calling, but extra just meaning more than human, meaning not of the earth, extra, which we are. And so when we're talking in terms of blood types, we're looking at us right now as having our ancestral blood, which is star plasma. We're Etherians. It's just when you get down to all these different blood types, and speaking about who's this and who's that, it's still division. It's still divisive. No matter what, we're calling now what our ancestors, the Etherians, did. They seeded the whole race. When it gets back down to it, we're all Polarians. We're all just like coming through this spectrum and wanting to see differences. And so what came about is that you have these, like you said, higher and lower energies that wanted to divide us. So therefore, they move further away from the center. And the further
ego.
All of that. And also, curiosity, just like a child. Because remember, nobody was here in the physical. So it's just like a child who says, I want to go outside. I wonder what's outside. Right. So everything right now is just, really, we cannot lose sight of all is all. We're all the all. There is no me and there is no you. We're going to keep making divisions of, well, I'm O, you're A, you're B, you're black, you're white. That's not what's supposed to be going on. We're supposed to see ourselves now as all. We're all in the all. Remember, first of all, the whole omniverse is the originator. We call creator. But then, we have to separate, which we haven't done in our mentality, is who are the gods? Because we have been trained to call upon God and not knowing that we are the gods. So we have to know that we're in the all, and just like how our cells are inside of us, that they're doing what they need to do. And they were smart enough to know that, hey, I need to divide so I can conquer. Because just being one cell, there was too much in the environment that could attack the one cell. So we had to become to the point that we are a body now. We are a group of cells now.
That's
and now because we're a group of cells, we think we're somebody. And that somebody now forgot the source. Because we took the magic out of living. And we see now so many differences. And right now, it's about creating the magic again. It's not about who got this blood type and who got that blood type any longer. This is the end game. Our blood has been spilling, no matter whether my child come out a B positive right now or is a positive. Blood is spilling on Mother Earth right now, no matter the blood type. It's not a debate.
But see, that's not the topic. All right, yeah, that's time on that topic. And I'm honestly, I don't even think, Rizzy, out of fairness, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes on it, because
I just want
to respectfully to you and I, her response is on a higher vibration than where we at.
I know what she's saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So
but to edify the people, you have to speak on where they're at.
Right.
We don't know if everybody's on a high zenith. That's why I was saying the word zenith earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And zenith correlates with the sun. Zenith is the highest point that the sun goes. You say something, I know everybody does, high noon, afternoon, noon. That's the highest point in the sky that the sun is going to get. So you know how religious people say the most high? They're talking about 12 o'clock noon. Mm-hmm. That's when you're supposed to be outside getting the sun's rays. Mm-hmm. But then while I was trying to say what the sun rays are, is back to gas again. Sunlight, sun rays is photons. Photons are gas particles. It's gas. So once we understand what our ancestors were talking about, they were talking about stuff we don't walk around with every day. Do you walk around with the sun? No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
You don't walk around with the physical sun with you, like holding it. You don't. The sun is not in our atmosphere. If it was, the earth wouldn't be here. You see what I'm saying? This is why we have to understand science. This is why I'm back to blood type again. Because if we understand our blood type, we will understand what we need to be doing. And where these other blood types come from, we wouldn't live like them. We wouldn't try to be like them. Like, think about it. You got most black women putting blonde weave in their hair. Like, why are you doing it? And then you complain about if a white girl be out there trying to put her hair in dreadlocks. That makes no sense. You're a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? So when we study who we are as far as history, we will know where we're going as far as future. You see what I'm saying? This is why they call this a present, because it's a gift that your ass is here. So that's why we do have to focus on the future and the past to know where we're headed. So this is why we're saying, you said an important word, plasma. That's another dimension. Think about it. I'm an electrician and an HVAC specialist. I graduated for HVAC too. We have 4 forces that they tell us about. What are those? Strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetism, and gravity. But they don't never tell us the other one. The other one is plasma. Plasma.
That's what we are. That's our roots. If you want to say it, really.
And that plasma that they're talking about, those primordial waters, that's gas.
That's right. That's why we're stars.
So
really, we're all stars.
Gas,
we're all stars. Right. We're all stars.
Nothing exists without gas. Think about it. In the books, in all these books, it say God is in the universe, right? Mm-hmm. The universe consists of gas. So nothing in it will not have gas. Everything in it will have gas, and it will be made because of gas. Don't he say in the book, I breathe, I gave the breath, I breathed, but isn't breath air, wind? Air and wind consist of what? Water vapor. Water vapor is what? Gas.
Yes, exactly.
So this is what our ancestors was telling us. When you see that snake, when you see that Eurisha, or Uranus, when you see that, they're talking about our ancestors, they're talking about molecules and elements. They just didn't call them tetrahedrons back in that what the white man that changed the name. You notice if you figure out the molecule,
right. Mm-hmm.
you can name it your last name. I can call it Robertson Brainy or whatever. If I figure out
we're in a dipolaric state.
Like Alexandra.
That's all. We're in our dipolaric state.
I would say we're more in a root chakra state. Everybody's thinking with their lower self in the wrong way. If they were thinking with their lower self in the right way, we would know what we need to give to ourselves to be more potent during sex. Because where does the magic happen? The magic happens during sex. You are supposed to be wishing for things. But they know that. White man know that. That's why they came up with what? Sexually transmitted diseases. So you can't give your woman that energy and she can get that energy from you. That's why if you notice a lot of women that sleep with a lot of niggas tend to act like those niggas that they slept with.
That's the whole now that's when
the foul is spiritual, man. Think about it.
That's okay.
Washington Monument, what is that?
Okay,
that's
hold
Osiris
Stick a pin. Stick a pin. Hold it right there. Because that's a great segue to another topic, because that in itself is something that people do not understand. But here's one question. How are there still people in Africa they took all of us? That no question is a stupid question. But they didn't take all of us.
Leopold killed 40 million Africans, but African people are still here.
Right. So
Africa is big as shit. It's the biggest.
I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand it. I don't think
Asia is not bigger than Africa. All the continents on Earth can fit inside of Africa.
But remember that a lot of people don't know that. And remember, and the invasions only took place on the western coast of Africa. You still got.
Right. Hold up. Let's talk about Angola. Let's talk about Angola. How Queen Nzinga, the female queen, they beat these Romans and British. She whooped ass for 40 to 50 years. They don't tell y'all about Queen Nzinga. That's why I keep telling you the greatest women, the greatest warriors on earth were women. The first queen was Hatshepsut. Queen Hatshepsut. They got a temple built after this lady. Every pyramid, even though it was built by men, was built for the female. The three biggest worlds of wonders built all for females. All for females. And females don't know that. Tell a woman she God, she be like, I ain't no God. I ain't no God. I ain't no God.
Yes, and half of the females walk around saying they queens need to sit their asses down.
Queen Nzinga.
Queen Elizabeth, even all Nanny Maroon, because when they took Nanny Maroon, they had to take Nanny Maroon on her own ship with her own indentured servants. And when they touched Jamaica, she still had to have her own thing, and they still kill off everybody under her rule and took over all over Ochi. But that's bias. That's bias for me to say that, but I'm just saying.
Queen Nzinga killed more white people than damn near any warrior that ever existed.
More than Django.
True. And the reason why a lot of this is going on
we need to honor our females, and that's why we dying. We not sticking to the whole head of the family. The head of the family is the woman, not no man.
Yes, Divine Melon and Queen Nzinga. That's how you spell it.
Nzinga.
She spelled it right. She spelled it right. They lied about how the whole Atlantic slave trade went down, and also a lot of U.S. slaves are indigenous people that were reclassed.
You know the First World War? The First World War was in the 1890s in Africa. With who? Queen Nzinga.
Well, you know something.
British people asses, and she needed the help from the other fellow, black soldier boy in the other little part of Angola behind, like near
Soldier boy. Not to be confused with Watch Me You.
No, some soldiers, I forgot his name, but he didn't want to help her because the British and the French then already slid him some bread and slid him some other shit. So he's like, no, you just let it go. And they killed her and killed all the other niggas down there and killed them other niggas.
Translation, because men are easily
persuaded
by material things, whereas women will always hold on to the family core, the basic, as well they should. I ain't gonna say all of y'all bitches, because some of y'all bitches just don't.
And you got some Christians watching you too.
That's fine.
I'm gonna give you a Bible verse.
Well, it's church. It's not. It's
Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 18 says the children gathered up wood and food and bread for the queen in heaven. And if you see a lot of reverends and a lot of pastors, a lot of emails, they don't never talk about the queen in heaven. Like, why are you not talking about the queen in heaven? Because they want that shit to be chauvinistic. They want the man to take everything. They got men birthing women in the Bible. Oh, Eve came from a man's rib. Really? Really?
See, all of that we can take into account when certain civilizations fell, or when the Atlanteans, it sunk, because of the consciousness there. So what I'm stating is that we're at the same point.
Nobody better not say nothing about me in this Newport. Let me just stick y'all right there.
Right.
So pussy on a rainy Tuesday, Newport.
So the patriarchal system that we're speaking about is still in place. However, we're back at the same junction right now where we're at the neck, which is
Africa.
the woman.
No, I'm
You
sorry.
see, and so because we're at the neck is the matriarch. That is, the speaking. Because it was, at one point, we did not speak at all. The female, okay, brought the language, okay? So now we're at the neck, and they always say that, according to their doctrine, is that the man is the head. But the head can turn without the neck.
Their doctrine is homosexual. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Where's the woman at? Where is the woman at?
Hold on, there you go.
Right. So being that the neck, we're at 8, the 8 is the neck. You see, and that goes around. And so that is also, women are speaking now. This is the matriarchal time. This is for women to speak up. Because remember, 8 is also DNA. And we're the mitochondrial DNA. That is what makes it our time right now to speak up, so things can begin to change. Because this is the time that we should rule, and we should know that by the fact that we're getting all these transmissions, those of us that especially that are on the 8. Now, if we haven't lived over 200 years, that history that we're referring to, we can't validate that because we weren't there, and anybody could have wanted to work in their favor.
Right.
What we can look to right now
is why we got to stop going by the shit.
The past 100 years, and then look to the stars, because the stars, the sky, the astronomy, astrology, it teaches us about years and thousands of years. We have to look at that. So that is what we call astrology, which means it's logging our time, not a book. So when I don't adhere to, I was a slave, I don't want to tell my children that. I wasn't there.
The Bible do. The Bible tell your kids that.
And I don't use the Bible as a religious book. I use it as a book of astrology, because it's always talking about the stars. So what we need to do now is start from right now, not just being curious, but truly being serious. And as we're talking about Sirius A and Sirius B, we're here now. We are the ancestors, and we made the mistakes before. So because there's certain facts we won't deny. Just saying that there's certain facts, right?
Look, why didn't we fight to go back to Africa?
Oh, okay. I was looking at the one Denise said. Let me be a
was she a slave?
Let me be a jackass. Don't worry.
I was never.
We all were slaves.
I was never a slave.
We all were slaves.
Stick a pen. No. Stop. Economic slaves, yes. At some point before we all reach our consciousness, which I hate that whole movement, the way it's worded and how people go about it. But at some point we were not. We were all a slave to something at some point in time.
Money. Living
in the Western society with doctrine and documentaries and everything else that's not innate to our natural state. You have been a slave to something, but just not
in taxes.
Right. But I got a question in the inbox is how did they manage to get that many Africans here? Okay. My answer to that is, and I spoke on this a few lives back. I don't know when, but I've spoken on this before, and it's because African people on a whole, in my opinion, we are loving people.
There you go.
So it is easy. Unfortunately, it is easy to bamboozle us. It's easy to betray us. It's easy to let us down or whatever else because we're trusting. That's just how we are. It doesn't matter how fucked up we are. You see, when we gather, we happy to see each other, we love each other, we do a whole bunch of stuff. So when people come and say, "Oh, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z," because it's not of us to betray, for real. That's not our trait.
See, my goal.
So when pacts were made with the European folks or the French and the who the other people, the Portuguese, when all them came when they came with their bullshit, we just we agreed because we bartered.
The barter system. That's
started
in Africa.
So
a female.
Right. So
chess made by a female.
Right.
Warrior.
So I think that's how they got so many Africans here. I don't think that. Now I've had other questions about and this is what I've asked a lot of priests in a number of the traditions that I practice. No, I'm talking about in African traditions because I'm an initiated priestess. So in our traditions, I've always asked, okay, if we have all of these deities, we have all these gods, we have all this power, how will we overtake it? And no one can give me an answer. And that is how I came. Wait, but that's how I came with my own thing. Like, okay, this came about because we're too trusting. That's the only thing I got that makes sense. That's all I got.
If you go in Africa, you look at Africa, you look at all the mighty, all the strong armies that lasted for hundreds and thousands of years. What did they have with them to protect them? No, that's part of it. What? But these were physical people.
What?
The Magi.
The midgets?
The Magi. Mm-hmm. Put a C on the end of the Magi.
Magic.
Did you see the movie 300?
I did.
When did they get their ass whipped? When the magical niggas start coming in. Remember the boys that was throwing the bombs blowing up, coming out of everywhere? They was looking like ninjas and all that. That's the Magi. Those people, see, y'all gotta pay attention to these movies. Those people were the protectors of the African people.
They were.
They traded on us for them Persians because them Persians came with the glitz and glam, and we so stupid not knowing you trip over diamonds every day.
But that's what I just said. Like we so legit with our shit that it's easy.
Now I'm gonna tell you in the 1800s. I'm gonna go back to the 1800s. Even then we had Magi. It was the females. If you go and look at the Haitian Revolutionary War with Toussaint Louverture, who helped him fight? The women. The women told the men, go back, we got y'all. They started chanting spells at the beach. And soon as the white men got off the boat, they died instantly. As soon as they stepped on the sand, that's documented.
But that is why.
We got off of magic.
But that is why white people have so much negative stuff to say about African traditions.
Because they still in our magic.
Which I've spoken about this a number of times. They stole our stuff from us.
And using it against
us. And they've got us so enslaved. They got us so enslaved. Well, the speak on the black magic. My daddy said you want to hide something from somebody, put it right in their face.
Right in their face.
So, black magic. That's it.
Think about it. Every time we cook soul food, we're performing black magic.
Yes.
Soul food is not good for the soul. You're eating everything that's clogging your arteries.
Yeah.
Think about this. If you're diabetic or you don't want to be diabetic, then why are you eating meat? Because meat eats, animal fat eats insulin. So why would you eat meat if you're diabetic? See? And we study and we study history, we'll know what to put in our body. If you're diabetic, you should not eat meat, fish, none of that shit. Because animal fat eats the insulin in your body. But nobody never told y'all that, so white people give you 4 basic food groups. It's only 2. Fruits and vegetables. That's it. And then you got categories under that. You have dry fruits. What's that? Cashews. Cashews are not nuts. They're fruits. Dates. That's not a nut. That's a fruit. That's a dry fruit. Look at a walnut. What does a walnut look like on your body? Your lungs, right? Your lungs. So if you eat a fucking walnut, it's good for your circulatory and respiratory system.
Most of it is the body outside of the body.
The body outside of the body. That's why you're supposed to eat. If you're a living body,
everything that you eat and what it looks like is what it's good for.
Living body.
Yes.
Think about what kills black people the most. Breakfast. Everything at breakfast is dead. Eggs, placenta, dead. Fetus, grits, that's sand, dead. You know what I'm saying? Bacon, dead. Toast, dead bread. Then you wash it on down with citric acid juice, killing yourself again. We're eating like white people, and we're supposed to be eating like Africans. That's why I was taking us back to DNA again. So if we knew who our blood type was, we wouldn't put animal shit in our body.
All right, next
question.
We're
the only humans that drink milk from another mother. Every animal on the planet drinks milk from its mother. If we're in the animal kingdom, mind you, it's 7 different kingdoms if you really get to it. Eukaryote, bacteria, all that. So when you get to that and you look at that, and then you look at Glosier's law, you will know who's human and who's not. So when we talk about race again, we top of the food chain and at the bottom of the food chain. There ain't no in between. Them motherfuckers is animals. Facts. Think about the sulfuric acid that you smell when they get wet.
Next question. Why didn't we fight to go back to Africa? Well, a lot of people did fight to go back to Africa.
We got comfortable. We got comfortable with America's trinkets. Oh, you got a Cadillac. Oh, you got a house. A Cadillac and a house is not freedom.
We said that 2 hours ago.
That's Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben Joseph Yokanan.
What I
get all my shit from. Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, and Jordan Maxwell.
I would just say that, you know, when it comes down to us being enslaved, it's more so that we lost our savor. And so it wasn't that anyone enslaved us other than ourselves.
That is a fact.
Because all of this that is happening, we still have to say that it's an illusion, because we were the first. Once again, I'm going to say it. We're the first root race, and that we are the first to leave out of the garden. We are the first physical race. See, we existed in the etheric for a long time. That's when it said that they don't know how long we existed before any other race came into being. We were already here because we were in the ethereal world. So we're the first physical race, and yes, race denotes coming, a descent of people, okay? Now, the white people, or the Aryan, that's why you had Hitler say that, you know, they call themselves, you know, the Aryan race, or you hear the skinheads, and the skinheads that say that they were the Aryan nation, because they know that they were a root race from the Aryans. Okay.
Did you know Aryan and swastika are not German words?
That's right.
Aryan and swastika are Hindu words. Swastika means your chakras. Didn't know that, did you?
Right. No, what I'm saying, this is all because this, first of all, they're the youngest race. So they didn't have a culture. You see, so they took everything from everyone. You don't fault somebody who's the baby. They don't know nothing. They're only looking for something because they're now getting here.
But it's our fault that we take over. Take over. So
what we have done, what we're really doing is saying that nature is not taking its course. See, that's called, right, exactly. Right, exactly.
So get the guns and start to shoot and take Africa back.
That doesn't exist either. That's all in our mind. It doesn't exist.
Look at the #1 killer in black people in the United States of America. I dare you to Google it. It will be police officers. The #1 killer in black neighborhoods is the police. It ain't black men. It's the police.
We're all nature spiraling up. In conscious, this is all a mind fuck, and we're going back to the garden as soon as we wake up.
But this mind fuck is physical and it's real.
Is there still slavery going on in Africa? Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
And the reason is that, let me say this, right? The reason for that is because we are the first that was the physical beings here. And as we ventured out, once again, I repeat, it's not slavery. It's what happened later on, because we were in exactly what we call a dark age. No light. We went out into, let's say, and we know that the universe is dark. But now we're coming out, and they talk about, let's say, there was no light. When was electricity, started?
When did Egypt?
No, I'm just saying, when we lost our consciousness, all of these things that when we got out, we were the babies now on the planet. Then there was no other race. There was no other people. We were the babies. So we had to go through the ages, just like what we're in right now, where everything is a stage, meaning that when we came out, the stage was set for us to learn and grow.
Hold on, Ia. See, I'm ready to close this live out because we're coming up on time, and I don't want to get cut off. But let me say, it's got to be Cam, who I call it's got to be Bakam, said, I thought she was Rita Marley for a second. I'm so fucking done with you, Cam. That is hilarious. She does favorite Rita Marley. She does.
Who Rita Marley?
Bob Marley White.
Bob Marley White?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I cannot deal with. See, only a Jamaican would come through with some fucking.
Yeah, you gotta be Jamaican.
I'm pure fucking up, man. Yeah, you're coming live. You're coming live. I can't even do. So hold on. It's our fault, but they helped with the ripping of families in our history. How can you come to an understanding if you're alone in your knowledge? Okay, I don't know.
Let me answer that.
No, you got 2 seconds. I'm about to close this out.
All right, let me answer that. History. We got to study history because once you understand who the first slave traders are and who they helped and then who that, you will understand why you need to cut religion out. And cutting religion out is the first step to your consciousness, because religion is what? A binding system. Binding means to tie down to. And if you're binding, and religion means to bind, that's exactly what it means. But what are you tied down to? You're tied down to the book. And that's why I'll be telling people, if you cut out the book, you got freedom. The book is the shackle. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The book is the shackle. See what you're going with that. Most of these books are the shackles. Think outside the box. Don't they always tell you to think outside the box? Think about
so
this.
Guess what? Let me just say this, what he just said, right? Think outside the box. Exactly what I'm saying. We don't study that. We study nature. That's outside the box. See? We need to study nature. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because we are nature. See? We are making a distinction. If we study nature
like we really supposed to do it, we would have been killing white people thousands of years ago.
See, it's not about killing white people.
Yes, it is, because they killed us. Listen for a second, though. Leopold killed 40 million Africans. Mussolini killed 30 to 75 million Africans.
No.
What? No. Mussolini and Leopold?
I know it's very controversial, but no. I'm going to say this because once again, that means that, let me say this, and I know it's very hard to take, but when we say we are nature, right, we can't go in and out of consciousness. Once we say that we are nature, we have to know that that is nature's calling.
But hold up, though. Nature has
we have to accept that it is nature's calling. When I went and ate food, I killed a lot of things even when I ate. When I flushed the toilet, a lot of things died. And we had this conversation before. When you see that a lot of Africans died, or you see that this happened and that happened, that is nature's calling. We're here to observe nature. And until that we get in alignment with nature, we're going to continuously say, this happened, that happened. But it's all energy. All is energy.
All right, then, so why can't we revert the energy back and start and take over our shit then?
Because we need to become, that's why we're growing. That is why we're in the chakra.
All of these things are physical entities that are controlling you. We have to,
right, and that is
get to the ethereal part. That's cool. All that esoteric thinking, that's cool. But we have to think on the physical plane because that's where we at right now. Like, I'm physically touching her. I'm not etherealized. I'm not ethereal touching her. I'm not esoterically touching her. I'm physically touching her. So we have
okay, hold on.
Physical things that they need to be tangible.
Lovey is keeping time. And she said in the live because it's coming up on where it's going to cut off. I'm going to come back one more time. But before I end, let me say this, because there's a question. Did some of the Africans spiritually know something was about to happen?
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to always say, and I get that, I know that y'all loving how in depth these two are going, but I keep it simple and short and sweet. I'm going back to Shaka Zulu. I'm going to say it this simple.
You know it wasn't nobody named Shaka Zulu. That's fake, right?
Let me
all right.
Let me roll my. If you got that Pokemon,
it's called the Emperor. Shaka
if you get this Pokemon,
they don't want to call him an emperor.
In Grand Theft Auto, let me use Shaka.
All right, go ahead.
Shaka Zulu, again, kept going to the mothers. He kept going to the EIME, the women with the old ladies with the long titties like mine, okay?
Weird looking witches.
Why the weird looking witches that the white man said were terrible because we did magic with the Magi because we are Magi.
No businesses with
they
the
told him, do not, over and over again, time and time again, they said, do not trust the visitors. Do not trust the fair-skinned people. Do not trust the invaders. They told him time and time and time again, and now we are in a world where white folks from South Africa will tell you that they are African. So
why are Chinese people kicking black people out of South Africa? They ain't even from there.
Going
them South Africans is whooping their ass.
Going back to what I always say, because all of this other stuff I cannot break down or articulate the way Kai and Rizzy are, because that's not how I operate, that's not how I talk, that's not how I think. I move with vibration, I move with energy, and I will say to you clear and plain as day. All of this could have been avoided by trusting in the mothers that gave birth to the universe, by honoring, defending the divine energy, and saluting your ancestors. When you relinquish those three things, you give away power. All this other shit is irrelevant.
What's that?
Baby, you just said it, baby. Let me say something, right? You see what you just said? You see what you just said, darling? You said it perfectly. You said the same thing, because let me just say this, right? You see all his energy, and you, right, want to call you in belly? You are not in belly. See, you are the energy that I respect, because right now, I tell you.
She said, "Ooh,
let me get up."
I just jump right through here, because let me just say this. Let me just say this and get this done, right? You see, that's what I said when you said the white people, but the white energy, they're new babies. Can you trust a baby to not touch the stove? They don't know nothing. So when we talk about the energies, do not trust them, because they are new. They're new to the planet. They're new to everything. You cannot trust them. We are the oldest. Some of us are ancient, like yourself, like myself. So we know better. And that's why we can get a whooping, and we can definitely give whipping too.
This is